is Masters Union, a next generation business school where learning happens both inside and outside the classroom.
Where classes are taught by CXOs, unicorn founders, award-winning professors, and even members of the parliament.
So how is Masters Union different from every other school or university? It's simple. We learn business
by doing business. Let me unpack that for you.
In term 1, we apply what we learn in class by building our own e-commerce stores through the drop shipping challenge.
Over here, we know that old textbooks don't teach modern marketing. So we learn it by running our own social channels that run up to hundreds or even thousands of followers.
We also learn the art of pitching by crafting and presenting our own TEDx talks.
He's talking about how we learn finance by running our own 5 crore fund where we invest in startups, equities and even in real estate.
Wow.
from dosa chips to motorcycle service solutions, pharmaceutical supply chains to Golgappa franchisees. Some businesses work, some don't. But learning by doing,
That always works.
our professors are industry leaders and our future recruiters. We learn fundraising from India's top VCs, navigating complexity from a NASA professor, and leading teams from an Indian Army veteran.
High class.
साउंड ठीक आ रही है ना तुम्हारे को
Branded content viral banana is like the last thing you should do.
You are not a leader if you don't upset a few people sometimes.
When it comes to entrepreneurship, speed over anything else.
Do you hire MBA students?
Absolutely. My own CEO is an MBA.
And the list goes on. Concepts like design thinking aren't taught through presentations, but through the process of designing an actual AK-47.
So how's that for hands-on learning?
This innovative teaching method has enabled our seniors to crack top jobs like these in companies like Microsoft, Bain, BCG, and several other A-listers. Some of our friends have also gone on to create successful startups, raising millions of dollars in funding, and with classmates that you can network, partner, and collaborate with, and professors who are more than just your teachers. You never know when your next billion-dollar idea strikes. And where does a B school like this belong? In the middle of an award-winning business park, right next to the recruiters themselves.
So stop waiting to begin
And start learning.
By doing.
Right here at Masters Union. I'll see you on the other side.
Wonderful. Thank you for me. Can we start now?
Yeah, we can start now.
Super. So, welcome everyone to this wonderful interaction that we are going to have. Wonderful and timely interaction. My name is Ankur, and as you know, I've been working in the higher education space for the last 15 years. And working very closely with some of the leading career counselors and educators in around multiple countries. And I think one of the conversations that is happening right now and has been happening for the last few weeks now is about, summer schools and summer programs. Just today morning, I was speaking to one of the leading career counselors, and she was telling me how difficult it is becoming even for career counselors to understand, what kind of summer school is the right summer school, how many kind of summer schools are available, and plethora of summer schools are now being offered by not only universities but companies, organizations. Profile building and whatnot. And it is now becoming. Summer school. I think we will have to have separate set of career counselors just focused on summer schools and identifying those summer schools for them, apart from the university applications that all of you have to take care of. I have a brilliant panel. I couldn't have asked for a better panel. All three of them are dear friends, but world-class educators. People with experience and more than just an experience, but they have the heart in the right places. They're always looking for the best opportunities for their students. So I'm very, very honored to have three of them together here with us at Masters Union. I have with me, I will briefly introduce all three of them. I have Nirbal, one of the leading, voices in career counseling space, and has been doing some phenomenal work with his organization called Cognix. But not only helping students, but training and thousands of career counselors. And I've known Nirbal for at least last 5 years plus. And I've seen the impact that his work has had on our community. So honored to have Nirbal Agarwal with us here. I also will have with us two of other leading high school counselors, both from really, really great institutions. But if I may just stick my neck out and say not only the institution, but the people that are representing those institutions are the people that matter. And both Ambika Kaul from DPS Society, I mean, she did some fantastic work at DPS Mathura Road. And I mean, I know for a fact that having heard her name from some of the top people who were students who were studying at DPS Mathura Road, the impact that her work has had, and now she's leading, the revamp of the entire career counseling department at DPS Society. So more responsibility for her. So Ambika, thank you so much for joining us here. And last but not the least, my dear friend Pragati Pandey from Aga Khan Academy in Hyderabad. I mean, Pragati and me also go at least 5 years, or if not more, long back. And Pragati is again one of the leading career counseling voices in the country. I mean, has been counseling students for the last many years, sending them to all the top institutions. And I think all three of them are my favorite people here. If I would have to ask for the panel to be speaking to, this is going to be not a really formal conversation. This is going to be informal because the relation I shared with all the three wonderful human beings here. So thank you so much. Let's start the conversation. I mean, we are talking about summer schools, and as I said in my opening remarks, it's getting confusing out there. There's so many to choose from, and so many things are happening all around. So Nirmal, I mean, let's start with the basic question. I mean, what role do summer schools really play in academic and personal development? Why are they becoming so important? Why is everybody, launching a summer program? But what is it for the student?
Right. Well, first of all, thank you so much, Ankur and Masters Union, to have me on the panel today. Looking forward to some great conversations. As you mentioned, informal, we know each other for a long time, and hopefully there'll be great questions that we can answer as well. So, and you said it yourself, Ankur, I think the conversation has moved. I used to have students come to me a few years ago, should I do a summer program? I think that question is now, which summer program should I do? So it's a given that, yes, I should be making use of my summer in terms of what should I be doing during it? Is it summer programs? Are there other things that I can do to exactly what I should choose between this? And why are these summer schools so relevant today, and more so today than ever before? It's so competitive out there. So many more students are looking at building up their profile. We use that dirty word, profile building. So many more students are looking around them, looking at the cohort, their peers. Sharma ji ka ladka Pappu next to them who's doing all these things, and their parents are saying, "Tum kuch nahi kar rahe ho," and all that stuff. So it's so competitive. And this whole global academic landscape is putting a lot of pressure on these kids now. So this actually presents a good opportunity for them to learn, to grow, to stand out from amongst their peers beyond the regular school curriculum. We know that there are constraints that our schools have on the curriculum in terms of subjects, in terms of number of things they can do. So this gives them an opportunity to explore their interests beyond and grow beyond the school curriculum. But more importantly, and I really believe this, some programs allow students to discover who they really are, right? And what they are passionate about, really to explore a variety of things and find out what are their real interests, what are their real passions, what do they want to carry forward in their lives, in their academics and otherwise. So coming back to your question about how does it help them academically and through their personal development, let's focus on the academic part first. I think I'm very happy that a lot of universities are now offering summer programs in India and abroad. I mean, we always had American universities offering these programs, but I'm so happy that there are so many Indian universities like yours and others who are offering summer programs now. And these actually mirror an undergraduate classroom setting. So even before you get onto a campus, you know what is the kind of university setting I will be exposed to. It gives the students a taste of what university academics are going to look like. And that in a way helps them transition from high school to college in an easier manner. If you know the methodology, if you know the kind of cohort around them, the group-based discussions, the kind of participation that is expected, and the kind of, I think, nurturing that is there, they are ready for that university level education a bit faster. They're no longer in that cocoon they have around their high school where they are doing the rote learning in many areas. Now they are exposed to a bigger learning environment. It also allows them to explore academic interests, I believe, because as I mentioned before, schools are restricted in subjects. In streams, sometimes we still have schools offering a pure commerce stream or a pure humanities stream or a pure science stream. You can't mix around subjects. though the new national education policy does allow it, but many schools have not adopted yet, right? So this enables students to go beyond what the school is offering. And even subjects that are not offered by any schools, that are not offered in the curriculums of high school, like neuroscience or data science, etc. If you find something interesting, there are programs out there which will help you explore these areas better and see if you're genuinely interested in them. So it enables you to get immersed in that environment, enables you to get to know a subject better, and then decide whether this is something you really want to do with the rest of your life. Would this be something that you want to major in college when you go to college? Otherwise, there is no exposure you have to neuroscience or data science when you're in high school, right? It's through the summer programs that you can actually get some part of exposure. For undecided students, this exploration can also clarify their intended major or career path. That, okay, I'm interested in these few things. Why don't I take a couple of summer programs over the next 2 years, one in this area, one in another area, and then see what is it that I'm more interested in. So along with shadowing opportunities, online courses, internships, etc., this gives them a good immersive environment to really explore their interests. I also find many programs offering projects, hands-on projects, uh, uh, the writing of research papers, etc. Again, teaching students to think critically, to write academically, writing academic papers, etc., and to even present their ideas in a more articulate manner. I think that's very essential for students, and these are life skills or transferable life skills that they're going to carry forward in no matter what they do, whether it is college or careers beyond that. They are getting prepared for the real life environment of colleges and careers. And I really love some summer schools that have students who come out and transform totally. They used to hate writing, but because they were immersed in something that they enjoyed, they're now coming back to their school and saying, I'm looking forward to writing more papers. I'm looking forward to the writing projects that my school teachers are giving me, right? And again, that dirty word once again of the profile building, right? It helps you build your profile in a way that colleges also understand that you are intellectually curious, that you want to go beyond your school curriculum to explore a variety of subjects, to explore ideas, to meet people, to try out other things that are not available in your city or in your school. So it shows intellectual vitality and curiosity. Again, things that colleges do value, that universities value a lot, and they want these students to come to them who are out there to explore what they can learn. So academically, I think these are some really salient features that these or benefits that these summer programs present. And overall, also personal development. We've had students, shy students, introverted students, go out to an adventure program for a summer, go out to a very group discussion based program, group activities based program, and come out transformed. They come back, they are willing to take leadership roles, they're willing to go out there and speak to people, willing to work in groups, etc. And parents are happy, student is happy. So they actually present a very good exposure to these students. Also, the ability to just go out of the cocoon that you have in your home. Your parents are out there doing everything. You have a driver, you have domestic help, everything is being done for you. This is your way to live independently, to gain that confidence that, yes, I can do it on my own, and I can therefore go to college and live independently there also. We've had parents also who were scared of sending their students out of the city. And I tell them, send them to a summer program. You see if they can manage there for 2 weeks. After that, you will be more confident, and the student will be more confident that, yes, they can manage to do this better, that they can live independently of the cocoon that the parents have put around them. Okay. I would say also the diversity that they find. You're coming from close-knit communities in your school, the same type of students around you, the same community of students maybe in your city.
Yeah.
Right? So this actually gives you a chance to meet people from all over the country if you're going to do a program in India. If you do something abroad, then maybe students from all over the world. Right? So learning to collaborate with them, learning to communicate, understanding cultural differences, the nuances, the motivations, the motivators that other students in other cities have, what drives them, and how you can incorporate those in your learning, in your daily life, etc. So it's a great chance to really learn from each other, and obviously learn from the faculty as well, right? The mentoring that this faculty are giving you, you can build those relationships. They can help you beyond the summer program to help you write a research paper if they're doing something you love. Maybe they can write a letter of recommendation for you from having known you for those 2 to 4 weeks that you've done the summer program. Maybe a very strong letter of recommendation can also be written by them to be sent to colleges where they've seen you in a non-academic setting, where they've seen how you work with other students, where how you work in groups, how you collaborate, your teamwork, your leadership. And those are nuanced skills that colleges will appreciate. right? So through all these, I think students do develop a lot. So if I'm to just summarize, I don't want to take too much time. I want to keep it open for questions at the end. I think they're just not about learning new subjects. They're also about discovering potential, building resilience to answer challenges, to face challenges, expanding perspectives, opening up mindsets, creating that open mind, a curiosity to learn, etc. And whether a student finds a future path, forms lifelong relationships, etc., or just simply learns to believe in themselves, I think this impact can really be transformative for all students. Right. So in today's world, I think,
Absolutely.
in summer schools are not just academic add-ons. I would say they're a launch pad for learning and for life.
Thank you, Nirmal. You have brilliantly articulated the need for summer schools. I think I no longer have any reservations about, the relevance of summer schools. I mean, if anybody is hearing you, I mean, he is going to run for the next summer school that is on offer. Thank you so much, Nirmal. I mean, I didn't expect anything less from you. Brilliantly articulated with key points. I mean, and great cue for Ambika to come in. I mean, Ambika, as Nirmal touched upon, I mean, today, so many universities are offering summer schools, and you have been working in career guidance space for years now. I mean, you would have seen the evolution of when very few universities used to offer, or very few universities or institutions used to have this kind of experiences on offer. How would you, see the evolution of these summer schools over the years in your own practice?
Thank you for that question. And may I just say, Ankur, one, thank you to you and Masters Union for having us. It's a pleasure to be here with such an engaged and academically motivated audience. I, however, must complain. I don't think I want to speak after Nirmal ever again. Like from now till I finish this job, I don't want to speak after him. So, because that's a standard of the match. But yes, so I'm going to start with where Nirmal left off, right? So I was listening to him very attentively. Some of you would have noticed me making faces. I was taking notes. So students become more self-aware. They become more skilled. They become more inspired, because it's also a way, it's a carrot, it's a carrot methodology as well, right? So it is no longer, what do you do in June and July, May, June and July, right? It's no longer, hey, I want a stamp of an Ivy League summer school, because getting into an Ivy League summer school implies you will get into their main school during regular admissions. We're actually talking about a platform that helps students test drive future careers. And I'm using one of the words that Master Union is using these days. But it also helps you build confidence. It helps you craft a compelling life story, right? This is before you enter college. And as mentors, as educators, and even as students here today, we're focused on either something that is aligned with your aspirations or which stretches you, right? Don't worry about the reputation. So that's my first gyan, which is out of the way. And now let me answer the question, which was, how have I seen this change over the last decade? I think at the beginning, most summer schools were largely academic in nature. They were boot camp-like, they were rigid, they were grade-driven. They were sometimes just extensions of school curricula at a broader base. They were often local, they were remedial, and primarily they were available with the global universities, and very few were available in India. And when I'm saying summer schools, can we please also add winter schools? Because I'm seeing a jump up in winter programs, right? So let's just call it the holiday period programs, whatever is available. Today, these schools, these programs are a totally different story. They are immersive usually, they're global. And I have found a lot of my students transform through the experience, less through what you are teaching them and more through their engagement with their peers. Because in this generation, peer-to-peer learning is an exceptional tool, and it is more relevant than perhaps me talking to a student or Nirmal or Pragati. But I won't speak for my colleagues here. If I were to just, top of my head, everyone who knows me knows I like to think in bullet points. Number one, the big change has been virtual and hybrid. A decade ago, most of these summer programs were international, they were in-person, they were inaccessible, they're expensive. Today, with the virtual and the hybrid mode, it has really democratized global education. It has allowed students to join in from remote areas, to join in Ivy League workshops, as well as collaborated, with peers across the world. As some of you know, we run a program across 220 schools in 110 cities, in places you may not have heard of. I have the principal of Leh or Bohar or Bokaro, or, those kids don't have the same chances as those sitting in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Calcutta. It's the truth, right? So virtual and hybrid is the first big deal that I've seen. The next is the interdisciplinary, what I call the T-shaped learning. So earlier, you had just, an I-shaped learning, very deep on something. You had a physics program or a robotics program. Now you have blended fields. You have AI ethics. You might have behavioral economics with neuroscience, like Nirmal was saying. You might have design thinking. And these are mirroring the way modern careers are charting out. And this contrasts very sharply to the way rigid commerce and, the silos of the past existed. So I would call it the T-shaped learning. You get a little bit of a lot, and then you go deep in one. And that's a really interesting way to explore. Then global peer networks. I don't think 10 years ago, my students were engaging with cohorts which was so diverse. And forget global, even if you're talking about India and the power that we are going to be, hopefully, you talk with kids from different socioeconomic stratas, from different cities, from different communities. And what it does is it builds cross-cultural sensitivity. And diversity outside these elite institutions was very rare, right? For me, the other aspect is there is work on mindfulness in emotional intelligence. I have a lot of STEM, boys who are going to be tech bros, who are all about CSCE, AI, who are also doing work because of their summer school in perhaps menstruation products in the hills, right? Or electrification of a village in their great-grandfather's, village where they've come from Rajasthan. And the boy today is in a premier school in Bombay. So I'm enjoying the fact that it's actually stretching the kids. Okay, I've got my rubber band. I'll show you my favorite example. When parents come to me, I'm like, let the kid take a rubber band, stretch yourself, right? There's a point in which can you see it in the mirror? Yeah. It's going to snap after this. Yeah. Kids know that point. But this is what the band is like normally, just lying in bed watching Netflix. Stretch the kid. They will know when it's time. So it allows for the stretchability. That's why I wear it on my hand all the time. As you can see, it's stretched out. Okay. The other thing for me is stress management. Right? I've had a meltdown twice today in the morning. By the way, my team knows, like, not a meltdown, but it's been bad. We're struggling with dealing with multiple stimuli, with multiple stresses, and being a high aspiration student today is not easy. And if you're aspirational about top colleges, it's ridiculous what you have to do, what we put our kids through to get into those colleges. So mindfulness, emotional intelligence, stress management has also been added to these programs. And that for me is a stark shift from where the purely academic focus was in the mid-2015, 2018, 2020. The next bit, again, I'm pulling from Nirmal. He actually answered all my questions. So point 5 would have been capstone projects in public research. The climate is such that people want tangible outcomes. So whether it's an app or it's a social outcome or if it is a research paper, earlier it was limited to certifications and exams. And I see a tangible output. I have a kid, I won't name him. And this was at DPS Arkipuram, which is where I was at for many years before I came to the society. He went to a 3D printing workshop in Howard. And I think that was not the first thing he wanted to do. But he didn't get into the one he wanted to do. He went to a 3D printing one. And when he came back, I'm like, great, you went here, you saw these cool things, you were in Boston, you went to Trader Joe's, yay. What are you doing with it? How are you solving? What are you solving now that you've learned something? And he and his dad sat down, and I love the fact that family was involved because that really amplifies the way kids work. Eventually, he ended up 3D printing for about $350 these spectacles for kids who had suffered during COVID, right? So in COVID, government school children had eyesight problems. We had exacerbated this issue, and he was able to raise money and 3D print it. So for me, it was fantastic. This kid who is not even looking to do anything in medicine or social impact is doing something which pulled from left, pulled from right, pulled it together, did something so wonderful. Just amazing. Like, to me, my heart is full, as you can tell on my expression on my face. The last is, the 6th and 7th, I've got 2 more points. One is this career test driving tracks. So I'm very excited about the fact that students can explore these new niche careers. So UX design, organizational psychology, these are important. And this is happening through industry partnerships with universities such as yourself. This was unheard of in traditional and remedial summer classes. I don't know about you, Nirmal and Pragati. Summer school for me was basically going to Sinhal classes before class 10 and making sure I got my maths curriculum out of the way. Yeah. So yeah. So I was in Bombay and that was like the place to go to Sinhal classes. Everybody was at Sinhal's. Anyway, the other thing is strategic college applications. A lot of people talk about this. I have a differing view. Anything that you pay for shows ability to pay, right? Anything where you compete on equal merit shows caliber and meritocracy. So for me, if you go to a really expensive, and I won't say Ivy League, but a really expensive summer school, it shows that you have access, you have money, and you have focus. What it doesn't show is that you're the best person for this course in the future, right? So it can be used only strategically for college applications. I don't think it's the right thing for everybody. There are some kids for whom I think 2 hands-on internships will do far more, right? Than perhaps this, or taking extra classes and getting your grades back on track. So how you use summer is a bigger conversation. I'm not going to get into this. What I'm loving is the rise of affordable non-IB programs, including, you did a 3-part one. Was it where over winter you did a 3-part one, which was more marketing, digital marketing, etc.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I sent a couple of kids there, and we broke it out. And may I just commend Pami? I rang her up and I said, this is the kind of kid. And she said, ma'am, don't send all 3. This one makes more sense for the kid. So I like the fact that you're not pushing the product. You're looking at what makes sense for the kid. Last but not the least, soft skills, right? Public speaking, design thinking, cross-cultural communication. These are standard skills now. And if you allow them to develop organically, that's wonderful. And I think this is why it matters. And they're no longer about academics. They're about identity. They're about experiences. They're about making friends. They're about discovering what you're like when you're not living under your parents' roof. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. The right summer school makes you self-aware, skilled, and inspired. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ambika. And I loved your rubber band analogy. I mean, that was brilliant. And I think you did a fab job of following up with Nirmal. I mean, really nice points made and really nicely articulated, as did Nirmal. So both of you are amazing. Now, moving on to, and you had the cue for my next speaker in the last few sentences. I mean, who should go for summer schools, and you touched upon it. I would like to invite now Pragati to talk about that. I mean, who should go for a summer school and what is the relevance for it?
I think I am the right person to talk about the question, because for many, many years, I have always shied away from summer programs. I have not referred students to summer programs. There's always been an apprehension that, is it really for everyone? So what Ambika, and here I am sitting about who should do it and who should not, right? So I'll begin where Ambika, again, 2 big stalwarts. You've already talked about almost everything, but I'll try to do my best. So what Ambika talked about was the evolution of summer schools over the last few years, especially post-pandemic. The scene has changed. Some of the questions that we need to delve upon when we are looking at whether a child should really do a summer program or not is that, are they going to grow in ways that really matters to them? So a summer school has different meaning for different students. So a student might be wanting to explore. So if a child is an explorer and wants to explore data science, as Nirmal was saying earlier, beyond the school curriculum, then maybe, a summer school is for an explorer. Or it could be a child who wants to deep dive into, a program. I'm already doing, mathematics, but I want to see how mathematics works on a cricket field, how the angle of the pitch changes with moisture. So combination of physics and math there. So that deep diver might want to look for a summer school which is going to academically stimulate him or her, right? There would be, children who are wanting to seek opportunities to find out which college is a fit for me, whether I will like a college or not. So college fit seekers, it will give them an opportunity to be on campus, see what a campus life feels like, international or domestic, depending on what the family is thinking. The family is a really important part of, the process. The others, a lot of children these days are collaborators. They really want to collaborate with peers, a diverse community across different parts of the world. And as Ambika said, virtual opportunities have come in, face-to-face opportunities have come in, a tier 2, tier 3 student is going to be interacting with somebody sitting in another part of the world, maybe a Hong Kong, maybe a New Zealand, maybe a US. And together that diversity comes in and collaboration is possible now. So a child who is looking for collaboration with like-minded or different-minded, people from him or her. Children who are independent learners, who want to get that independence to work in a different way, they are the ones, these are some kind of learners or students who are going to benefit from a summer program. But then there's another group which for whom actually summer programs are not the most important thing or the most useful thing for them to do over the summers or winters, as Ambika was saying. For example, if I have a very rich local environment where a child can, do much more than a summer school at a university, then maybe summer school is not for this child. So a rich local opportunity might be a better one rather than going to a summer school for that child. Somebody who's just wanting to do, resume padding, as we call it in school, wanting to build a profile. Okay, so summer school is not for you. There are many more ways to build your resume, and summer school is just one of them. So please don't do summer school if it is just to build a profile. You need to seek meaning in your, opportunity first. One very important thing which I focus on a lot, because I come from a school where a student is not always financially able to pay for these opportunities and they come at a cost. So finance is another big part of it, that whether it is financially viable. You may be a seeker, you may be an explorer, you may be a collaborator, but is it financially viable? Are there challenges related to finance? Then maybe summer is not the one for you. Maybe an internship where, which is free of cost is a better opportunity, which you may seek locally too. So summer school is not for this particular child. And there's another group which we are seeing a lot now is children who are facing burnout. So summers is for rest and relaxing rather than going in for even more stimulation physically, intellectually, emotionally, socially, and coming back with more burnout and collapsing at a time when you need the maximum energy. So as counselors, when we are guiding them or supporting them, it is a reflection process. We ask the kids that reflect on why you want to do a summer school. Is it going to help you grow in any way? How does it add to your personality? How does it add to your, intellectual abilities? Does it help you to really explore opportunities? Can you find it around you? Maybe your father's business might be the right summer opportunity for you rather than a Harvard Business School opportunity, maybe. So in the end, I would like to say summer schools are like mirrors, they show you who you are, and a summer school is not the thing. A summer opportunity is a better way of defining it. A mirror which is not magical. It is not going to create something different and wonderful for you, but it is going to show you a mirror that you are this kind of person. You love maths more, or you hate biology, or you love being amongst people from diverse backgrounds, or you enjoy more familiarity of your same ethnicity. So it's going to help you explore your own self. So if you see that as an opportunity, then definitely a summer school. If not, then a summer opportunity is what you're seeking.
Brilliant. I think absolutely. And I mean, to an extent, I will also agree with you. I mean, summer schools, definitely are not for everyone. And I think you have to align it to the profile and your objectives and your economy. I mean, in terms of finances also, how much, and online is another thing. Ambika touched upon it. I mean, the access to those summer schools is also limited, although that is improving. But yeah, I mean, at Masters Union, we offer hybrid, online, offline, every kind of summer school round the year. We have, I mean, apart from summer school, every month we are doing some kind of profile building, the online programs. So I will invite, I mean, good cue to invite my friend Pratham for a 5-minute introduction on what kind of summer opportunities we have. I mean, Pratham works with me in admissions and outreach, and he runs some of our really interesting summer programs, file building programs. He's an entrepreneur himself. But before I go to Pratham, I would love to check if you can see Ambika on screen. I am not able to see her on screen. So I just want to double check.
She had some issue, but her video had frozen when she was speaking. So
Yeah,
she's still there, but the video is not available.
Yeah, video is not available. That's what I was
So
thinking.
what I'm going to do, guys, is just pop off for a second. I'll come back on a hotspot. But
Yeah,
I'll be Okay.
yeah. Perfect. So in the meanwhile, Pratham, over to you for the 5-minute segment. Take us through what we have to offer.
Thank you so much, Ankur sir, for such kind words. Hi, Nirmal, Pragati ma'am, and of course, Ambika ma'am. I hope she's joining with the hotspot. I hope I'm audible, am I? Great. I won't take long. Just adding on to what Ambika ma'am and Pragati ma'am said. I met Pragati ma'am while we were at Aga Khan a few months ago. Very kind. Thank you so much for being wonderful hosts. Very quickly, I believe that a very big paradigmic shift has happened in summer schools in general. I remember growing up in a tier 3 city called Jalandhar, Punjab, and I remember at the time it was more of a nuisance for students and parents and teachers at the same time that यार कुछ बच्चे को कराना है समर में घर नहीं रखना. You just have to be somewhere. So be that be calligraphy, be that be dancing, be that be just playing sports, just send them. But now, when I've come to Delhi, to NCR, to see how Masters Union is progressing, how students who are catering to Masters Union are coming, I've seen that change. I've seen that students are willing to themselves enroll into such programs to experience the enriching culture that we're providing. And we speak volumes. I would love to share my screen if that's possible, Ankur sir. I would just request you to give me access. And here I go. Hopefully the screen is visible, is it? Great. So Masters Union launched a couple of things that I'm truly excited about. Number one is a Summer Skills Week that happens in the first week of June 4th to 8th, followed by the 25th to 29th June segment, which is the Summer Startup Week. Before I delve, I would really love to show you a video that was curated by our students themselves just last year, and they'd be able to tell you what exactly we do and how it runs. Just have a look here.
Audio is not working for you, Pratham.
Wait, hold on. Are you not able to hear?
No. Reshare the screen and click the little thing which says share laptop audio.
Sure. I will just do that again. Perfect. It should work now. Let me give it a go.
We will rock you. This was the main song that came to my mind whenever I thought of the startup week.
So, me and my friend, we entered the campus on the first day, Monday of the startup week, and we saw कि हमारी age group का कोई बच्चा दिख नहीं रहा था. तो हमने जब और time wait करा, there were many people, everyone from every side of the country of different varied age groups. First day हम सब ने activities करी, we got to know each other well.
Second day, we went to the National Museum of Art to identify problems faced by our country. So I think the first 2 days were icebreaker days, as I said, where we could form connections and know people.
On the third day, Prabhu entered the picture. Now Prabhu is our mentor. He is very smart, very intelligent. He guided us for all the 4 days that he was there. And then we made the teams of 5 to 7 people. And we had to finalize a problem statement and come up with a solution. We had to pitch it to Prabhu first, and after getting it approved by Prabhu and getting his mentorship and guidance, we presented it to the investors on the 7th day.
All right, wonderful. Heading back to what exactly I was coming in to talk about. Uh, at our offerings, we've got student entrepreneurs at our core. We realize that these entrepreneurs in the making do need such environments to thrive. And first of all, we created the Summer Skills Week. In simple terms, I had a deck that I was supposed to present, but I'll just scroll through the website because I think it's more interactive. It happens from 4th to 8th June. In simple terms, from creating apps to talking about stock markets to understand derivatives and the financial markets, to understand digital marketing and to create content, to be able to do all of those skills in 5 days is amazing. We have top entrepreneurs. Our mentors come from all amazing institutes throughout the globe and not just India. They come together at the culmination of Masters Union at Tower C and Tower A to ensure that these students get the best. Going forth, of course, you can scroll around the names. You have all the top names from Wharton, Stanford, and Harvard who will come and interact with the students. I would definitely put in these very particular links in the chat box if you'd like to scroll further. In simple terms, number one is where you learn about the app design, followed by exactly simulating that app design into a stock market and investing. You'll be given paper money where you'll understand market trends. You'll be taught how to exactly pick through trends when you see a market dip, the candle wicks, all of those little things that exactly run the stock market every single day. Followed by something very important, which is fundamentals of the business. We talk about entrepreneurship as our core competency at Masters Union, and what is an entrepreneurial course without the startup workshop. You get to invest, you get to talk to real VCs. They come to our campus and students build their ideas and startups, which are heard by real VCs, and their investment juries to make a value. Followed by a second offering that I am particularly very excited about is the Summer Starter Week. It is very important for a student to actually understand how difficult it is to run a startup. Right. First of all, let's say that we understand that 9 to 5 is a difficult job, and students are like, making startups would be easier. But what if we tell them that it's actually a 24/7 job and not a 9 to 5? You would be doing customer service, HR, marketing, finance, building the idea, at times pivoting itself when it's not working out. All of those things in just 5 days. This happens 25th to 29th June. Of course, we'll have mentors from, again, the same institutes that I mentioned in our previous program. You'll be talking to industry leaders. You will be building a real startup from your e-commerce store to sourcing a product to actually putting it out on a Shopify website that you create within your team. And at the same time, integrating it with a delivery service. So let's say that I'm a person that's sitting in Punjab. There's this one person, my friend, who makes a website in Delhi, and this one person who orders in Chennai. I know the supplier, and this website connects the three of us together without holding the inventory. We follow up every single week and every single month to ensure that these students are building in the right direction. At the same time, we clock the revenues. I was just at some wonderful schools in Kolkata. We've been having a lot of registrations. I would also talk about pricing in a minute. We start with business ideation, followed by MVP development and prototyping, startup launch and pitch presentation with, of course, Mr. Prabhu. If we talk about the program flow, there's this wonderful website that we created. I'll share the link just in a minute. You can scroll through that whenever you get time. And very important, when I went to these schools, we realized that we're just not getting 1, 2, or 5 students. We're getting whole lots of 20, 15 students from every school. So we significantly reduced the prices for them. So we're also open to school contingents. And before I depart, let me stop my sharing part. Okay, great. I hope, building on to what Miss Ambika and Pragati ma'am said, I really feel that talking about summer startups and all of these skill weeks, we feel when we compare to the Harvards and Whartons of the world, we say that these are the places we want to be, these are the places that we aspire for, but we forget to look within. When we talk about pricing, we also realize that they're charging at least 5 to 8 lakhs for a week. And when we talk the structure at Masters Union, it's slashed to 1/8 and at times 1/10. When you have such opportunities within, the student, when comes to the campus, immerses themselves within this environment. It's a very vibrant color that showcases. And ending with one line that our director is more likely to always say this out loud, Ms. Swati Ganiti. She says that your network is your net worth. And students even don't realize when they come here just to make friends, and at times end up building memories and friends they would cherish for life. And at Masters Union, we have a diversity hotspot. We have people coming through Mumbai, Bangalore, all these amazing parts of India. and at the same time interacting with students that they never knew existed when they were not interacting with them in school. So I feel this is a wonderful space to grow, to learn, to exchange, and to be within. With that, I'd close. Thank you so much all for giving me this time and opportunity. Thank you, Ankur sir. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Pratham. Thank you so much for sharing all the interesting opportunities that we have over for summer. I mean, having worked
Thank you
with
so much.
you and the team at MU for last couple of years now, I know, I mean, the quality of the summer programs and all those profile building programs that we host in online, offline,
Yes.
hybrid. I mean, apart from the summer school opportunities, I think MU is a big believer in terms of learn by doing, and we're a disruptor in the Indian higher education space. And I think this is the vision for us to launch those summer sport programs and profile building programs was to give more opportunity to more students down the year rather than just 200, 300 undergraduate students that join us. Now, I mean, we're running short of time. We just have about 11 minutes left. I'm looking at the clock, and I think what we'll do is we'll merge. So we have a lot of questions already from audience that we had at the time of registration. So I'll be taking those questions, the pre-received questions from students and career counselors. If in meanwhile, I mean, people who are listening in live, please type in your questions for the panel, and we'll be taking them also. But we'll be spending next 10 minutes, answering questions live and the pre-recorded ones that we have. So I mean, and I'm not going to read out all the questions. I think I'll sum it up and try and answer a couple of questions together in one. I'm starting with Nirmal. I mean, Nirmal, one of the themes that I could see in the already received questions was about, how to select a right fit summer school for myself. What is those 2, 3 criteria that I should look for? This is from a student from Shivnadar School in Faridabad, and then we had a similar question from Springdale, Pusa Road. I mean, what kind of skills will make me future ready? I mean, if you can answer these couple of questions.
Sure, sure. So I'll touch upon what Pragati and Ambika ma'am already talked about. I think it goes towards the whole story that the student has. We cannot like everything in counseling. We say it depends. So here also it's going to depend upon what the students' interests are, what their passions are. What are they looking for in a program? Are they looking at academic exploration? Are they looking at personal development, etc.? If it's personal development only, you can go for an adventure related program. If it's academic exploration, you could look at interest areas and try to get those done, etc. Also, I think a couple of them, I think Ambika pointed very, very correctly that it should not just be, or I think Pragati, that don't just show access by going to a program that you can pay for and showcase that you have the money to pay for it.
Absolutely.
Try to go to a program that you will that will challenge you, right? That will enable you to learn. That is selective, maybe. And also, if you can get a scholarship for the program, that's even better. So I always ask my students, look for a tough program to get into where you can get a scholarship, right? Rather than just walking and paying on the spot and getting into a program. So I do, in case they're looking at college admissions. However, even these programs can help them with personal development and academic exploration. So any program is good subject to the needs of the student. What are they searching for? Are they looking at getting deeper into research or academic writing? Then find a program like that. So you have to introspect first, I believe. Don't blindly go to any program that is out there. I think Pragati ma'am did say that look at what your needs are, what your introspect, and find out what you want to get out of a summer program, what the goals are, because unless you know where you're headed, you're never going to find the right path to get there. So that goal has to be part of that overall student story. And as counselors, I think school counselors and other counselors can help them discover this as well. I hope I answered the question. Please,
Yeah,
others
absolutely.
could add something.
Yeah, if somebody else wants to add here, please do that. But another question Ambika, go ahead.
I was just going to say, flip it differently. I like to ask questions. So what is your interest? Are you exploring a subject or are you deepening an existing interest? Do you want online, in-person or hybrid? What suits your schedule? What suits your style? You should have outcome clarity. Do you want a certificate? Do you want a research paper? Do you want a project? Or do you want exposure? Or do you want to just get out and have some fun in, King's College because your significant other is going there? The faculty and the peer group matters, right? So look at the diversity of who's coming in. So I think a lot of these questions, if you introspect, automatically you'll get some parameters.
Super. I think that's interesting, and I think right approach to it. I will also, Pratham, are you here? There is a question in the chat about, or Pammi, if you are here, how long our sessions will be? From Baman, our friend from Nepal, if you can answer that. I think Pratham is answering that right now. I think it is about our summer school. So you can answer that. Baman, somebody will answer it for you. Pammi, you want to answer
these
it live?
sessions, yeah. So these sessions will start from 9 o'clock in the morning and it will go till 4 p.m. in the evening. So 9 to 4 on all the days.
This is hybrid, right? This is like online
Yes.
also students
So
can
we
join in.
have online and offline mode both. So Delhi NCR
Okay.
students can join offline, but rest other can join online.
Online. Super. Super. I think next question that I have for the panel is very interesting, and I think we should all, I mean, I'd love to hear all three of you talk about it. How can career counselors find out more about these summer schools? What are the resources that they can use to make better sense of all these plethora of summer schools that are being made available now? So anybody can start. I mean, probably.
Shall I start?
Yeah, Pragati, how do you go about finding out
First
from
thing
this
is that
maze?
counselors and universities are amazingly networked, which means that there is a common data pool existing somewhere, which is in the form of an Excel sheet, which me and Ambika most probably are getting, you know. That Excel sheet normally has programs,
Wow.
amazing. So it will have every kind of summer program, which the universities are wanting to, you know,
Wonderful.
market to our kind of students and schools. So we will have access to that data set. But along with that, you know, once, as Ambika was saying, we have the students answer the questions as to why you want to do, what do you want to achieve, what is your mode of achievement, what is the location that you're looking for. Then based on that, we may do targeted research on a particular location, a particular program, a particular, you know, financially constrained option. So then a more detailed option will be researched, but otherwise there are common data sets which exist, which we can tap into.
I think what Ambika showed was great because I think Ramya does that from Hyderabad. It's a beautiful spreadsheet that she shares openly with all counselors
Wonderful.
and students. So it's amazing. Everything is listed there. But you know, one more thing that I would like to add to what Pragati ma'am said is we love the fact that people like you, Ankur and Pammi and all are reaching out to counselors and sharing everything that you guys are presenting. Because unless you guys share with us, how will we know? I mean, it's so much more difficult to go into every university that exists and do the research. Do you have a summer program or not? I would rather have you guys reach out to the counseling community and share your resources. And then we cascade it onwards to our students, right? So thank you for that work.
Thank you so much.
As a summary, we've got Ramya's sheet. We've put more on top of it, Nirmal. I showed some of Ramya's sheet. I mean, it's not just Ramya's sheet. There were 7 other people who worked on it, but yes, Ramya posted it out. Yeah. And to Pragati ma'am's point, there are, you know, for example, I have a lot of maths kids. So program in mathematics for young scientists. That's really grades 9 to 12, the age 14 plus. It's number theory and advanced maths. That's called Promise. You've got the MIT summer. And you've also got things like cancer biology, right? So there are certain CBSF summer research programs which are on oncology and bioinformatics, but they want you to have NCSC or an IRIS, you know, either publication or a win. So some of these are more competitive and we share them with each other when we come across them. Or if an exceptional student has done well in one school and has been placed very well, we're happy to share profiles. Like I'm living off other people's work and I'm hoping other people will stand on my shoulder.
Yeah, I'm going to call you more often.
Absolutely. If you can share that sheet in the chat, maybe our other people can also have access to that link. Is it possible? Ambika, you're on mute.
My bad. I thought I'd finished. If you're a school counselor, we'd be happy to send it to you. Please just email me. I don't mean to I'll just email me. It's ambikacall@gmail.com.
Yeah, if you can just put your email in the chat section, that will be great.
We can't send it to everyone. I can only send it to hosts and panelists. So I'm
Yeah,
sending
if
it.
you can just do it to me and I'll forward it to people.
So it's just my name at gmail.com. If you send us a message, give you access to this. We also have about another 120 other opportunities which are in the summer program. So we can help you with that. Stanford Institute of Medical Research, the Garcia Center, what else can I remember? Clark's, Telluride Association of Summer Programs, there's TASPI, which is on social justice. Don't get me started. Yes, so there's a lot to do. But the idea is not to be an all-encompassing thing. Don't want to be everything. You're not the encyclopedia. We've got Google. Focus on your kids. Focus if it's right for the kid, and help the kid do the research. Let the kid do the research. Sometimes kids come back and say, hey, there's this amazing program. Will you check it out for me? That's the right way. Your job is not to.
Super. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Final question from me, and then we'll conclude. I mean, a lot of times, I'm not a career counselor, but people come to me and Nirmal was saying that now in India, there are a lot of summer schools being offered. I remember the time when I was with Ashoka, we were the first ones to offer the Young Scholars Program in 2015, 2016. We started doing that, and we were one of the few handful of institutions that did that, and now we have so many. And I think we were the most affordable also. The cost of our Young Scholars Program was at that point of time about 20,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees, something like that. And there were top dollars being paid by students to go to the West, top universities and brand names and thousands of dollars. So what would you recommend? I mean, is it worth going to an Ivy League institution or a top brand just for the brand name on the CV? Or, I mean, I know the answer, but I still want you to validate this thought that I would say, but you three stalwarts should also say this. It's more not only about, for me, it's not only about the brand, but the experience. But this is also a market where big brands are charging big dollars just for the sake of having that university name on your profile. And I remember in Ashoka, we used to categorically say, if you attend our summer school, that does not lead to any brownie points for you in the undergraduate program admission process. But still, people used to come. They probably will have that help advantage in the application process. But yeah, if any one of you can do that, and then we'll conclude about this whole thing of going to a top Ivy League university and just thinking it helps in the admission process, or the CV looks good. What do you say on this?
No, not at all. Brand really plays no role or doesn't give brownie points for them to have something extra on their college profile. It is nothing like that. Every year, there are multiple students who go to these amazingly selective universities for their summer programs, and they hope to go there for undergrad, and it doesn't happen. So we constantly, as a counselor who doesn't believe in rankings, we constantly talk about the outcome, the quality, and how is it a fit for you and your aspirations. So a master's union program may be a better fit for you because you're wanting to learn that particular skill and in the Indian context, and because you come from a certain context yourself. So that might be the best fit for you at this stage of time. Or maybe a Harvard or a Princeton or a Yale may be a better fit for you. So it is more about, the fit rather than the brand. In reality, with years of experience, I'm sure all three of us have seen, it gives the skills, it gives the exposure, it really helps the child shine, but the brand doesn't really make any difference to all of these things. So no, the brand makes no difference.
Yeah. Super. Thank you. With this,
except polishing the ego that I went to XY.
I mean, don't get me started there. But thank you
I've
so
seen
much.
people put just the summer program on their CV and they pretend they've been to Harvard, for like a bachelor's just because they went there for a summer.
I mean, there's a whole industry in that. Okay. I mean, this is a lovely thought from Ambika. I mean, if a program charges $10,000 and above, but has no essay or interviews, it's likely a revenue generator, not a merit-based opportunity. So absolutely correct. So thank you so much. It was an amazing 60 minutes that we spent together. As I said, when we started this conversation, this is going to be really informative, but a very informal kind of a conversation. I am so happy that it was. It's so much informative, so much information was shared, so much experience was shared between the three of you. And I'm very, very happy and grateful that you took the time out for us. I know all three of you are busy people, but you took the time out for us at Masters Union and educated my students, my team, and my career counselors that joined in. Thank you so much, Nirmal, Pragati, Ambika. Pleasure. Thank you, Pami, for being here and coordinating this entire activity for us. With this, we'll come to a conclusion. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.